Hello, Vudani here, and today I'm gonna give you a leveling guide. It is, in Guild Wars 2, leveling is not all that complicated, but there are some things that you definitely can do to speed up the process, and the first thing that you're gonna want to do is go to guildhead.com/map, and that is the site you see right here, and it is a very, very useful map for navigating in Guild Wars 2. I would honestly say that this is probably the most important part of my leveling process, and the first thing you're going to want to do is check off the pet thing here. You probably don't need that unless you're a ranger. But also one thing to note, that when you are leveling, you want to try to be around people or with people. Soloing is cool, but in Guild Wars 2 you actually kind of get punished by soloing. There's not really anything that happens negatively when you have more people around, so if you can find someone to group with while doing this, do it. It's going to speed up the process quite a bit. So first off, with your build, in PvE, you're definitely going to want to focus more on survivability, so keep that in mind as you level. It's obviously very different from class to class, but for the starting areas, I like Queensdale the most. This is where I started. And just kind of start off in the starter area, and once you do get behind, you can start in story quests, but inevitably you'll want to switch over to what I preferred was Keldon Forest. That is the Silvari place, and you can do the starting area here, and just basically skip to choose two starting zones and do those two, and you're going to want to do that until about level 12. At level 12, there is a very nice spot in Queensdale. You'll see it on screen now. And this is the area. You have a defense quest here, or a dynamic event. It's going to start here. Another one will start here, and another will start here. And I don't know if the water spout event over here is fixed, but if it is, then there can be one here. There can also be an escort that comes up along this road. And there can be an event that spawns over here. So this is a very densely populated dynamic event area, and that is going to give you a lot of experience. And another good thing is most of these quests have a lot of kills, so the kills are going to give you a lot of experience, and might be not really intended, but what I like to do in situations like this is what is this place called? Queensdale usually has an overflow, usually has more than one overflow, so you can basically stay in this area and switch to different overflows by logging to character select and logging back in, and just keep doing that until you get dynamic events. And you can do that till about level 25. It's very good XP. You'll get probably a level every 40 minutes, which is very fast. And at about level 25, you're going to want to go to Kessex Hills, and this is, I believe there's a name people call it. It's basically a big cluster of dynamic events. Dynamic events are hard to come by at low levels, and this is a nice cycle here. There is an event that will start right here, and that's where the loop will start. And you're going to want to move up here. There can be an event here, 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 and here. So that is a lot of events in a very small area. And also a lot of people know about this spot, so you'll probably be able to get into a mob of people if you get in a good instance of this zone, and just move along this path right in here. It's a nice little loop, and you can do that till, honestly, it's good till 40 or so if you want. But you don't have to do that. You can just get a few levels there if you'd like. Get to, basically, you want to get prepared for Gandharan Fields. And the 25 area on the left side of Gandharan Fields is actually pretty good. There are a lot of dynamic events that'll spawn in this upper area, and you can do those till the other half. This zone should take you till about 35. If you did Kessex Hills longer, obviously you might skip this zone, but it's a pretty solid zone with a lot of good dynamic events. After that, you're gonna want to move north. That's another thing about this site. If you click these links, it's gonna show you lots and lots of details. So for instance, Right here, let's see this quest. I instantly get a link to the quest. And a lot of it is user comments, so some stuff is a little sparse, but it's definitely a good site. I like it the most out of the interactive maps I've worked with. But anyway, this North Zone Harathi Hinterlands is a pretty solid zone. Starts in the southern area and moves up north, and a lot of it's centaurs. So if this northern area is centaur controlled, what you can actually do is find a group to basically do centaur slaying. And if you do have experience pots, there's centaur camps all in here. Every little cluster you see can be a centaur camp, and you can basically move in a loop with a group and kill centaurs, just mindlessly kill centaurs. I believe we did this for maybe 3 hours when I was initially leveling, and in those 3 hours we got like 10 levels. It was absolutely insane. And you can do that till about 45 or 50 if you'd like. It just depends on your pace and if you like the zone. At about 50, you can do the cliff here. Dreadhaunt Cliffs, we did a bit in here, but if you'd like, you can just move right over to where you find the Shatter, and that is Blaze Ridge Steeps. And the way to get there is just go to Divinity's Reach and use a teleporter over here. That's going to move you to Fields of Ruins in this little city, and just run north and come up in here. And this zone is a pretty good zone. Lots of mobs. It's kind of spread out, but most of the mobs should give you bonus, and you can just kind of zigzag your way up. Go for map completion if you'd like. If you don't go for map completion, just do the quests and dynamic events. That's the general rule. If you're going for map completion, go for it, but it's not overly important. It's just kind of throws a little mix into the leveling process. And this upper area is all level 50, so you can do that once you're in that. But when you are leveling, try to be in an area that is lower level than you. You want to be leveled down because that makes things a lot easier. At about 50, you can move into Iron Marches. The lower zone is pretty good, and at about this point is probably when you're going to start hitting some leveling caps. And what happens here is when you do hit a leveling cap and you can't quite kill higher level mobs in Iron Marches, just move over to Bloodtide Coast and come right here. There is an event that spawns. Let's see, where is it? It's a little town here, and there's an escort quest that starts up here and moves down here. And if you'd like, you can farm that for a number of levels. It's not that fast, but it's consistent and it's easy. You'll probably get about a level every hour and a half, so it's not that fast. However, you can do this a long time. You could probably do this till about level 70 and still be decent. If you don't want to do that, just finish off these quests, and basically at this point you're jumping back and forward from zones. So bottom of Bloodtide Coast, try to get to 60 or so, and then come back and finish off Iron Marches. And you should, with a Bloodtide Coast and Iron Marches, you should be able to get 60 plus. And at 60 you're going to want to come to Sparkfly Fen, and this zone's pretty good. You should be able to move through it pretty swiftly. A lot of the mobs in here are going to poison you, so you want a reliable condition removal in your build if you're going here, otherwise you will just hate this place. But if you do have that condition removal, it's not bad at all. And you should be able to get about 65 in here. If not, you can move right into Fireheart Rise and do that as well. This zone is pretty solid. Questing, dynamic events. When you see a dynamic event, always do the event if you can. If the event is feasible, do it, because it is, at any level, they're good experience. And in Sparkfly Fen, there is a nice chain of events that I did quite a bit. There's an event that spawns here. There are 4 right in this area that are pretty frequent. There is a 3-part escort up here, and there is a ship battle over here. So this area is very good for dynamic event farming, just good XP. you should be able to get 65, 70 in Sparkfly Fen and Fireheart Rise, and at level 70, Straits of Devastation, there's a nice farming area up here. There is an event that spawns here and over in this area, and then another over here, but this one is a little slower. But anyway, you can kind of run back and forth from these two and check on this and farm those two events. I believe both are on about a 10-minute respawn last I checked, and doing those back to back is actually pretty good XP. You can go elsewhere for other events and just try to find some, but generally these two are good. It might be faster to do other things, like, I mean, honestly, at level 70 it gets tough. 70 to 80 mobs get brutal. Frost Gorge over here is very tough. The higher level, well, this one's definitely the easier zone. If you want, you can quest in here, but it might be a struggle. So what I did from 70 to 80 was I cooked. Now cooking did get nerfed a bit, or adjusted you could say. So, but honestly, your 70 to 80 should be spent right here in a city and crafting. You should have accumulated enough material or enough gold to craft your way. 10 levels is not that much. That's 400. So another good crafting profession is jewel crafting or gem cutting, whatever it is for this game. That should get you 10 levels quickly. You gotta remember, 400 skill in a craft is 10 levels, so in that scales. That's why crafting from 70 to 80, in my opinion, is what you should do. And I mean, that pretty much covers it. The leveling in Guild Wars 2 is nothing like other games. You just take it at your pace. If you want to follow these routes and these spots that I've given you, that's good, and it's probably a bit faster. I mean, if you're just exploring and not min-maxing, it's definitely funner. If that's for you, that's cool. If you wanted some direction, I hope this guide here gave you that direction, but as always, I hope this was helpful. If you have any concerns about this or any suggestions for people on leveling, feel free to leave those in the comments, and thanks for watching.